All right. We're going to move on to the next application. Application 2023-20, James Juarez. Please step forward.
Yes.
Are you Mr. Juarez?
Yes.
Could you please come stand up?
Sure.
Thank you.
Are you going to be the only person testifying?
No.
All right. If you're going to testify, let me just swear you in, then you can sit down.
The other person is my wife.
Raise your right hand, both of you. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Please state your full name, spell your last name, give us your home address.
James Juarez, Juarez, 6 Litchfield Place.
Thank you.
Janet Poland, 38 Janet Lane.
Okay, thank you.
I live across the street from her. Do I have to recuse myself? I could be objective.
It's not for,
It's not her
for Janet
property,
Lane, it's
so-
for Litchfield Place.
I want to make sure I go on the record.
Okay.
And could you just give me your last name again?
Poland.
Thank you.
Okay, we're good. All right, Mr. Juarez, could you please state why you're here for your variance and what are you looking to do?
Basically replacing an existing shed on the property. It's deteriorating very badly, and that's why I'm here.
Due to the 30-foot setback, it does not qualify for its location because of the irregular shape of the property.
Whatever, this is replacing something that was already there?
Yes.
And it's been there for more than 20 years.
And just to be clear, it's going to be on the same footprint, the new shed, compared to the old one?
Actually, a little shorter, because the current shed is 12 by 12. This will be 12 by 10, because the current shed has a flat roof, and the new sheds are peaked. So I had to reduce the length by 2 feet, so I could accommodate the mulberry trunk that's currently over the old shed now.
Great.
Basically the same location.
And in terms of the height of the shed, the new one that you intend to
It's
put
the
there?
same as the old shed. It gets, I can stand up and I'm 6 foot tall, so I think it's like 7 foot
All
or
right.
8 foot.
Ballpark,
Get
okay.
the height of the shed interior.
But the same size as your current shed?
Yeah, it's short, 2 feet. length.
Height-wise, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it'd be about the same height, yes.
Thank you very much.
I don't want to have to bend over to get in, so that's why I opted for the same height.
I see that you included some pictures with your application.
Yes,
Okay. It is the red shed that you're replacing?
No, it's white.
It's the
White.
it's the white shed that you're
White.
replacing?
yes.
Okay.
The red one is the neighbor's.
Oh,
Behind me.
okay. All right,
Yeah,
that's
next to
fine.
me.
Okay.
It's not that. No, it's this.
What,
No,
what
it's
type of shed are you going to be replacing with? Is it a,
Tough shed.
Tough Shed, I contracted with a company called Tough Shed.
okay.
They're the ones who told me that a variance was required when they went to the town for a permit.
It's a wood frame?
Yes,
Can you talk a little bit more into the microphone?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
yes.
Can you confirm the setback of the shed on Litchfield again, please?
It's 16.49 feet.
16.4. Thank you.
Quick question, in your picture, you said it's not the red one?
No, it's not the right,
Is it? This?
that one.
Oh, okay. This. Thank you.
But it's only 16.49 feet from the street, so that's why a variance is required.
Just to confirm, it's the one with the flag on the side
Yes.
of the...
Yes, where the window is, to the right of the window.
I'm sorry?
There's a little window on that side where the flag is. That's my shed.
And just to satisfy my curiosity, what is the flag?
You'd have to ask my wife that one. I didn't put it. I don't know. She changes it depending upon the season, so I really don't know.
Just curious.
Anybody else on the board have any questions?
I do. I mean, one more question. I mean, you mentioned it's going to have the same footprint, I mean, but the lot coverage compared from existing to proposed has increased over 5%. Is it because of the new overhangs? I mean, if the base is 12 by 10 and the new one I'm talking about, compared to the current one, which is 12
Right.
by 12, how is the lot coverage increasing, especially if the concrete pad, the slab is not changing either?
No, she didn't slab at all. I mean, I was assuming they're putting an overhang for, in terms of rain, but, the footprint is gonna stay the same.
I am looking at the wrong application. Please disregard my question. Thank you very much. Withdrawn. I apologize. You got me confused. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
Sure.
Any additional questions from the board? No. Anybody from the public wish to speak? No? Mike, do you have
So
any questions?
it's not a flood zone, there's no stormwater mitigation required. If you look at the survey, the only issue is that it's in an easement or over an easement. There's an 18-inch storm sewer line going underneath the existing shed. It's not the greatest thing to have a structure over a stormwater facility, because at some point, the township will have to reconstruct that. Having said that, it's a shed. I would ask the applicant if they could shift it, if that's feasible, to shift it closer to the house off the easement. And if not, then we might add a condition in there. Because again, if the township has to reconstruct the storm sewer, whatever structures are in the way, fences, trees, those are easy. But a shed, a physical building, is a little more tough, and who pays for the cost to reconstruct that? So that's the vein I'm asking, the only issue we have with that. So if the applicant can shift it closer to the house, and if you can't, just provide the board a reason that you can't.
Close to the house there's two 80-foot trees, which are close to the house. So the shed can't come up to where the house is now because of the trees, and I really don't want to.
And the other issue is that that red shed is also on the same easement line, so we're talking, and to move it would be,
We'll get that one the next time.
exactly. I mean, if the township ever has to, then if it has to be moved, it has to be moved, but maybe not in our lifetime.
Is it a kit? Is it a prefab shed that's coming?
They'll come and install it on site.
But theoretically, it could be disassembled and reassembled if they had to.
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically, although they told me that if I had to move it, it'd be up to me. They just put it up, they don't move it.
Great. No
So
members from
I
the
would
public?
just
Okay.
advise that you'd incorporate a condition that protects the township in some fashion that Bruce thinks is appropriate.
Nobody from the public, so I'd like to ask for a motion to approve this application with the
Moved.
condition that
With the
That-
condition that the,
if it's required to be moved, it'd be moved at the owner's expense.
Yeah, it's always been understood.
Yeah.
Second.
Motion approved? Everybody?
Raj, second.
Okay.
Who made the motion?
Steve?
Steve made the motion and Raj seconded it. Okay. Mr. Furstenbaum?
yes.
Mr. Sahada?
Yes.
Mr. Hochstein?
Yes?
Mr. Weckstein?
Yes.
Ms. Naparano?
Yes.
Ms. Dotson? And Chair Cunningham?
Yes,
Motion passed.
great. Lots of luck.
Thank you.
Final application for the night, application 2023-21, Olegario and Georgine Belamente.
Good evening. Stephen Hale, representing my friends and the applicants, the Badalamenti family. Great to see you all again this evening. And so what we have a proposal here is for our friends, clients, to put a pool and a shed in their rear yard. It's very consistent with the neighborhood. Yes, we are seeking a coverage variance, but we have had an opportunity to discuss this with Mr. Disco. At the present time, there is no stormwater management system on the property. We are proposing a subsurface detention system to address any additional coverage. And I think, Mike, and Chris will talk about it, to the 100-year storm capabilities. And again, this is very consistent with the neighborhood. Almost all the houses in that area have the circular drive, which is a nice look, and then the side entry garage. The family bought the house several years ago, and they then made some improvements to the interior and moved in December of 2020. And again, they're seated here. They really want to continue to make improvements to their property here in Springfield and want this to be their forever home. And you'll hear, I'm going to have them come up and briefly testify, but that it's important for health and well-being and the family unit being together in a nice backyard. And what's also great about this is behind is the county land, so there's no neighbors that we're impacting with any type of pool in the backyard. And again, a lot of the people in the neighborhood do have circular drive up front, side entry garage, and pools in the backyard. So it's a great little neighborhood. So what I'd like to do is to call upon Christopher McDowell, who is our site engineer, to take us through existing conditions and then the pool that's proposed.
Good evening.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
Please state your full name, spell your last name, give us your business address, and please speak into the mic.
Thank you. My name is Christopher McDowell, McDowell, from Midstate Engineering, 82 Walnut Hill Lane in Freehold, New Jersey.
And Mr. McDowell, if you could please give the board, depending on your work, educational experience, license you hold, confirm that they're still in full force and effect, as the chairman would ask, and whether you've qualified before the boards or courts of the state of New Jersey as a professional engineer.
Sure. I graduated from Rutgers in 1991 with a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Immediately went to work with Midstate Engineering, my current company. It's not my company, it's I work there. I got my license in 1997, number 40347. Since then, we've done various types of projects, residential, small commercial, a lot of projects like this one. Currently, we do mostly grading plans for pools, which is why we're here tonight, to get an approval, or hopefully get an approval for.
And again, you've been
that.
accepted as a professional engineer?
Yes. I've been before approximately 20 boards before, mostly in Monmouth County. The one closest to here would be Westfield. I testified before that board.
Okay, good. And your license is active and in good standing, right?
It's accurate and in good standing.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
As a professional?
No objection.
Great, thank you. All right, Mr. McDowell, if you could take us through, and I know the board has a copy of the plan, there's been no changes or proposed exhibits this evening, but take us through existing conditions and then what's proposed by way of the improvement, and also touch on, you heard in that first case, a lot of talk about drainage, the drainage system that's been provided. I know you did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Disco on that. So.
Right. Sorry. The current improvements on the property consist of a 2-story dwelling with a side entry garage, a walkout basement, and there's a circular driveway in front of the dwelling. Property is located in a residential area bounded by other residential dwellings to the northwest and south, and as you said before, the county property to the east, behind the property, if you're standing at the road. That property has a wooded border along all the properties along Treetop Drive. The topography on the site runs downhill from the front to a swale that runs along the back property line northwards it runs to a storm sewer that's directly off of the property to the north. There's a head wall that takes any water that's going to there northwards that appears to go towards Route 78 along those back property lines. We're proposing an in-ground pool with in the rear yard area with some retaining walls to flatten out the area behind the pool as much as possible. We're also upgrading the circular driveway to one with a similar footprint, a little less square footage. And we're proposing a dry well system in the area below the retaining wall that's closer to the pool to hold the volume of the 100-year storm as recommended by Mr. Disco for the increase in the impervious area generated by the pool area, the pool and patio, and portions of the driveway.
And at the present time, the impervious is approximately 31%. We're going up to approximately 36%. Can you
correct.
confirm that any increase in coverage, any drainage issues related to the increase in coverage are more than adequately addressed in the drainage system?
I believe so. We place yard drains in strategic positions to collect the runoff before it gets to the neighbors, and from there it will flow with ADS pipes to a storm tech system that's underground behind the pool.
Okay, and certainly you work with Mr. Disco and the municipality to get whatever Springfield is required for the installation and approval of that drainage, formal approval of the drainage system.
That's correct.
Okay, great. I have no further preliminary questions of Mr. McDowell at this time.
Any questions?
I just have a question, the technical question. Do we count the pool as pervious or not?
Springfield is not.
Okay. And then my other question is, you're putting down pavers, is it 100% coverage or is it less?
I believe Springfield counts as 100% pavers usually. And
Permeable pavers, we count them as 50%.
yeah, yeah, when,
I don't know if they're permeable, they're just say.
they are not. Well, they're not technically permeable. Good.
We're going to see if there's questions from the public.
Any questions from the public?
Sorry.
No, as I see, nobody from the public. Mike, you have any concerns or reservations?
I have no issue with the stormwater system. It's amply sized. I would take Mr. Hale's statement that if we have to tweak any of the yard drain locations or add another one, they would do that. It's not in a flood zone. We do have this area, which backs up to the quarry property, where the Union County leaf compost facility is. We do have some of the neighbors on Old Tote downstream of this that on very intense rains get a lot of water in their backyard. So as long as we collect the water from this project and get it into the underground system, it could have a good benefit for those people by not having the shed off of the water directly overland flow to those people. So I have no issue, you know. You just have to, you know, reconcile the lot coverage percentage number vis-a-vis the mitigation.
No questions from the board? None from the public? So ask for a motion to approve.
Do you have any other witnesses?
We do have my clients here if you would like to hear from them.
I would.
Okay, sure, sure, come on up.
As long as they came here.
Yeah, sure, uh-huh, all right.
Come on up. Should we bring his daughter up? She's shaking her head. He didn't want to testify a little longer.
Okay.
Hello.
Just raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your full name, spell your last name, give us your home address.
Calogero Badalamenti, last name's Badalamenti. It's 118 Treetop Drive.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Badalamenti. If you could you heard my opening, obviously, just to get to the board, you purchased this property in 2021 and then renovated it, moved in 2022. If you could briefly touch on why this pool and the amenities associated with that are important to you and your family.
So, 3 reasons basically. One, we want to enjoy the outdoor space that we have. 2, I feel like there's health benefits involved. I need a knee replacement. I used to run, I can't run anymore. Swimming is a good alternative to that. My daughter is 16 years old. She's actually had 2 shoulder surgeries. Swimming is a good alternative to weight resistance, and it's a pleasurable thing. And then 3 would be just us making an investment in the neighborhood and the town. This is our forever home. We want to stay there, and we want to raise our family there, and we want to make an investment in the neighborhood and the township.
And you heard our discussion with Mr. Disco. I know you had Mr. McDowell design a significant stormwater detention system. You'll work with Mr. Disco and the township as to whatever, as Mike said, tweaks might be needed as far as location of any drains and the like.
Absolutely.
Great. No further questions of Mr. Badalamenti at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Badalamenti.
Thank you.
We did bring along our professional planner, but I think that he's here to testify if needed, but I think that it's not a use variance case, and I think the proofs stand on their own, especially with the reasons for this and the fact that we have the parkland behind us and a significant drainage system. It's nice to see the investment in the township.
The applicant went to the zoning officer and through the building department for I'll call it a minor addition, or an addition in 2021, which was conforming in every respect, so.
Any questions or comments from the public? I see none, so I'd like to put a motion for somebody to approve. Okay.
Mr. Hochstein? Yes. Mr. Weckstein? Yes. Mr. Furstenbaum?
Yes.
Mr. Sahada?
Yes.
Ms. Naparano?
Yes.
Ms. Dotson? Chair Cunningham?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Well, thank
Lots
you
of
all
luck.
again.
Good luck.
Motion to adjourn.
That was the quickest. All right, thank you all again.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
Everyone take care, good night.
Take care.